Welcome back to another episode of On Cue with JQ. It's your host JQ, and joining me today would be Gilbert Abraham, founder of Akin Athletics. We're here at one of his basketball camps at the Garner Road YMCA in North Carolina. So for today's show, he's going to give us some insight on how he got all started with this training program and the type of offers that he has for individuals that are trying to improve in their game. And guess what? You're even going to see JQ get it in on the basketball court. So make sure you keep it locked. So as I told you guys, I'm here with Gilbert Abraham, founder of Akin Athletics. Just got done with one of your basketball camps. So tell me how you got started. Well, let's start off with your basketball career from high school all the way up to college.
Oh, wow. Well, high school, I played at Laurel High School in Maryland. I wasn't that great of a player at the time, but I was a very hard worker, very athletic, and got the opportunity to play Division II basketball at St. Andrews in Laurinburg, North Carolina. And, I went there to play there for 4 years, graduated, had a great experience. I was one of those players that was learning the game. I was very raw. You know, my family's from Nigeria, so basketball wasn't very important. Growing up, it was just something that I was obsessed with, and I got better, a whole lot better after I graduated, and eventually got some offers to play overseas, and the opportunity to play as an alternate for the Olympic team in Nigeria. So I've had a very interesting experience with basketball. And I'm thankful, but my passion lies with training and teaching, and that's kind of what started. Is like I never really got my personal career going, but I was always respected and pretty good amongst a lot of my peers, so that's what got me into this.
Now the transition from high school to college, did you have a lot of college coaches contacting you, or were you the one like sending out emails and entrance?
High school to college, I wasn't really aggressive about doing that. I wanted to go to a small college, and I sent a letter, as well as the coach actually coach contacted me first, is what happened. And then as a result of that, coach and I talked, and then it was one of those situations where I thought I could go there and really make an impact, and I mean I did, and I really had a good time there, and I learned a lot, but for me it was like the first time I really got to dedicate 100% of my time to basketball was shortly after college, and that's when it was like, oh, I could have been really good,
right.
And so that's when even in college I was training guys, but I didn't know that that's what I was doing. I didn't know it was a profession, didn't know it was a business, and that's what started it.
And for those of you who don't know, I also went to St. Andrews, played ball there as well, so we got a connection going on there. So after you graduated from St. Andrews, you went on to coaching.
I did.
Okay, and you had an AAU team in Laurinburg, the Scotland Warriors.
Yes, Scotland Warriors Achieving Triumph. We used to call it SWAT.
SWAT, okay.
And, we were actually very competitive. I did it for about 4 years, directly out of college, while I was getting my master's in public administration from Pembroke. And we were successful. In a 4-year span, we were 160 wins and I think 30 losses. And I coached 2 teams on my own, practiced on my own, raised money, with the people that were there, very little input from the community, and it was really great. It was great. So I had a great. That really taught me how to teach, and the transition into training as a result of that.
Right. So were you coaching AAU the same time that you were coaching at the high school, Scotland High School?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was, and what happened was I started the AAU program, and as a result of that, that generated a lot of interest from the high school, and I was teaching there as well. And I ended up a JV coach and assistant on varsity. And after that, I ended up, leaving both of those situations and going on to be a trainer. That's what I was doing for a lot of time. And then I was a college coach at Fayetteville State University.
Right.
And we won the CIAA while I was there.
Which is going to be my next question. How many years were you at Fayetteville State?
2 years. I was an assistant for 2 years. The first year we won the CIAA, and the next year we didn't do so well. And then, my wife and I had a son, and then that changed things. So I made a a change, you know, in regards to college coaching, and that's when I really started training pretty heavy.
And you coached the girls team.
Yeah, I did.
Now, do you remember when you guys came down to St. Andrews and you guys played against me?
I do. I do. I do. And you did well. You did well.
Of course I did.
Yeah, you did.
Even though we lost, but
yeah, no, but you did very well. And you know, I always liked you as a player. You know, you did a lot of very effective things. You're very heady, very smart point guard. I mean, the boys probably could have used you.
Well, you had some good point guards out here today. I was watching them. Very, very good.
But I mean, I'm critical. You know, and it probably doesn't help because I work with a lot of NBA and college guys.
Right.
You know? So I have a different standard, you know, so I expect them to do certain things, or I'd like them to do certain things.
Right.
So they're coming. I mean, you know, just in this brief time, these last few weeks, this 3 stripes program we're doing here at Garner Road, they've improved tremendously. You know, I'm very excited about it.
And I'm sorry to backtrack, but when did you leave Fayetteville State and why? Why did you decide to leave and pursue your own training program?
It was about 2011, and the majority of the reason was because, you know, my son was being born, and that was just, you know, it was just one of those things where I had to make a family decision about what was going to be the right decision to do, and that was the decision, you know, that was made. So, you know, I'm happy I made it because, you know, a lot of other great things happen as a result. So,
right. And then there was Akin Athletics. So, how did you come up with Akin Athletics?
Okay, Akin is it's a Yoruba word. You know, my mom is Yoruba. That's you know, I guess the language or the tribe, you know, in Nigeria. And the word Akin means warrior. You know, so it's just basically warrior athletics. And that's actually my son's middle name, is Akin. So
train like a warrior. I see how it all connects now. Yeah. That's creative. I like that.
So that's where it all comes from. You know, Akin. You know, and so. You know, I love it. You know, I love what I'm doing. You know, I want to do it every day, 24/7, and you know, derive a lot of pleasure from watching kids learn and evolve and you know, become different. You know, just become different creatures, evolve to something better. That's a beautiful thing to me.
Right. Yeah. So, what were some of the things that you had to overcome on your journey of, you know, coming up with this training program?
Humility is probably the biggest thing. You know, I think everybody thinks that they know more than they originally know in basketball, and I'll be the first to admit that at this juncture in my life, and probably from here on out, I won't have an ego. You know, I can learn from anybody. I learn from the kids all the time, just watching them. But that, and the other thing is that you have to be a master at your craft. If I'm going to profess to do something, I need to know it better than everybody else that does everything else around me, or just as good. You know, and you know, I'm confident in my knowledge base now. You know, I know what I know, and you know, I think I know it well, but I'm studying meticulously to be better. You know, and I think that's paramount. Otherwise, you can't really profess to be good, you know, at your craft. You just can't.
Right. And with that being said, how often do you attend coaching clinics, and how important is that for upcoming trainers?
Oh, that's paramount. You know, I think a lot of people have it twisted. You know, even the term trainer, it's really it's almost like a misnomer. You know, I'm not an athletic trainer, even though there are some things that I do that focus on the athletic portion of it. But I'm a skill coach, a skill development coach. I'm really an extension of coaching staff on the sideline. You know, I'm like the assistant coach that gets to work on things that the coaching staff doesn't really get to focus on. Right. You know, and so I get to go into a more detailed level with it and really build on a lot of the things that the coach wants to do. You know, just like today we were working on actions, but they were isolated, and the kids were able to see all the natural reads that come out of those situations. A middle school staff, a high school staff, even most college staffs either don't have the time or are not cognitive about, they don't comprehend themselves all the reads, you know, and when you really get into it and really start asking a lot of people questions, a lot of people don't have the time to study that in depth, and if they have a player that's just better, they're not going to spend time teaching, you know, the other kid behind him those things, and that's where I come in, you know. And
as studying players, I know when I was playing college basketball, high school and college basketball, we would do scouting reports. Oh yeah. And we were always taught to learn your opponent. What is one of your biggest advice when you're studying your opponent? Is it just studying their stats, watching, you know, film on them? How do you go about telling your players that?
Stats are also very misleading, you know, because you have to look at film and you also have to look into the actual, you know, personality of a player. You know, oftentimes, you know, the little intangibles in the scouting report are, you know, you don't like it when I call you something, you know, or you don't like it when I'm physical with you. You don't like it when, and these are all the personal things that are very important on scouting reports. That's one facet of it. Then the other part of it is, what are your tendencies? Which directions you like to drive? Where's your sweet spots? Where do you like to score from? What are the actions the coach likes to run for you? These are all things that, that I do meticulously. And I have a book that I carry around with me, probably about that thick, of every action and drill that I like to use, and how I prepare some of my more intermediate clients for every contingency that they'll face. And it all focuses on those things. Like with Raymond Felton, I watched every shot that he took, every miss, every action that he was involved in over a 4 or 5 year span. I went back and watched every single one. I documented every one of the shots that he was going to be involved in. Every single shot. Where it would be on the floor and the actions that his coaches used to put him in. And then we drilled it. And last year, he had a record year in terms of his jump, in terms of his performance. And in the playoffs, he had the highest field goal percentage for the Knicks. And I don't think that was by coincidence. And then this year, he got injured earlier, but the way he was coming into the season and the way he worked over the summer, he was in line to really do some amazing stuff, and he's doing well now. So, I'm prayerful that they'll pick it up. So we'll see. But it's just about preparation and then preparing for every possible contingency that a player may face, and that's all the stuff we're doing with the kids. Are you going to see a double team? Are you going to see this? Are you going to see that? And how do you respond to those things?
So who are you partnered with your training program, and who would you like to partner with in the future?
Well, I'm partnered right now with Garner Road, with Team Felton basketball, with a few programs in South Carolina. I mean, it's, even that is a subjective term. I'm kind of a free agent. That's what I always like to say.
Right.
I mean, I'm loyal. Very loyal to Garner Road, very loyal to Team Felton, very loyal to the AAU programs I work with, because it's a great ability, an honor to be able to work with talented kids, programs that are well established and that are really pouring into their kids. And I take great pride in that. And then I have the opportunity to train Michael Jordan's nephews as well. So. The Jordan family as well. So I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate. I'm very thankful to be able to say that I work with a lot of very pivotal people in the basketball world, now. So.
And what makes your development training program different from others?
I don't believe in a lot of fluff, and I'm not going to sell a whole lot that. That's a great question. And to be very PC about it, I believe in making everything as game-like as possible. Extremely simulation-like, and then showing them the what, the how, the when, the why, all of it, so they know. And then once you're completely cognitive of all of that, then you really see the evolution in players. Because there are a lot of really talented kids, but they're not very good. Right. They might do something flashy like dunk or cross people up and things like that, but there's not this understanding of the flow. They don't understand how to get open, when to get open, all of these things that are part of the game. And I think I'm one of the few, that is working at the level that I'm working that does these things. And for me, I feel like I can train anybody. If I'm working with Raymond Felton or Kendall Marshall or Marcus Page from over the summer or David Noel, any of those guys, or if I'm working with young kids here at the Garner Road program, I have the same passion and energy, and I want them to get better, and I want them to get the information.
Which brings me to my next question: which age group do you enjoy training the most, and why?
That is hard. That is a really hard question, because I really I don't have a preference. I don't. If the major ingredient that I need is passion. If you have a passion for the game, I feel like I can help you make amazing things happen. And it's not me that's doing it. I'm just facilitating the environment and the possibility for you to bring out the best in yourself. And once that's there, magic. I'm actually shocked that you said that, because I would think that you would prefer working with younger kids because they don't have as much ego as older You'd be surprised. Well, and I'm different. I might be like, a lot of times I think people take me because I'm well mannered and I'm pretty calm most of the time. you know, that it's that way. But I love dealing with the young men and the high school, college players, NBA guys, you know, because I love to get them motivated and I love to humble them, you know, because I'll talk junk, I'll get in their face, I'll push them around, you know. Once I get my boxing gloves on, you know, I'm trouble, you know, and they like it, you know. I mean, you know, I really haven't had any problems with elite guys with egos, because, you know, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be coached.
Right.
They want to be taught something. They want to be pushed, you know. And if you're innovative enough to find out how to do it, then you get the result that you want.
And that's how I heard Phil Jackson broke down Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, because he wants to be a coach. I would love to work with Kobe or anybody. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's a, you know, you want to work with the alphas, you know, or the, you know, the most elite players. You know, I do. I relish the opportunity. You know, I mean, you know, having the opportunity to work with Raymond, it turned me into something else, because I wanted, you know, he called me and said he wanted me to train him. You know, I studied this man like I studied, you know, politics in college. You know, I wanted to know everything he did, how he did it, why he did it, when he did it. And when I met him, you know, for the first 3 weeks, he never saw the same drill. You didn't see the same drill. Every single day was something different. The whole routine, you know. And he got off the plane after he got married, and met me down in Myrtle Beach. And we trained the first day. The next day he comes in thinking we were going to do the same stuff, and everything was different. And that was how it was. And you know, I know that made an impression on him. It was prepared, it was detailed, it was timed, and we got into it. And as a result, you know, he had the season he had. And you know, I'm not tooting my own horn, but you know, I feel confident that the preparation that went into that was you know, it was, you know, I put effort. I put a lot of work, effort, and intelligence into what I did, and I learned a lot in doing it.
And how does that make you feel when you see or hear about when you hear about the kids or the athletes that you train and you see the outcome of it?
Oh, it's the most exciting thing in the world. You know, you know, people probably make fun of me, but sometimes I'll get a phone call or a text, or I'm driving, I'll get a call about so-and-so performing well, doing this, that, and the third. And it's just this rebel yell, you know. I'm so excited, you know, and you know, I mean, I live for it. I live for it. I mean, one of the guys that I worked with, his name's Ariel Robinson, and he played at Fayetteville State, because when I was actually there, I worked with most of the boys there as well, training and stuff. And in the off season, right when I was about to leave, we got up every morning at 5, and we weightlifted, we conditioned, and we hit the floor and did skill work. And this was the routine, you know, throughout the whole summer. And so he got the opportunity to play with Panama, their national team, and they were the team that knocked Canada out at the end, and they were unable to play in the Olympics as a result of his play. He played 20 minutes at the point guard, and this is a player that never played point guard. You know, so he's playing at that level. He playing against Ricky Rubio and all these other elite guys, you know, they're in the NBA down there in Latin America, and as a result, he ended up playing professional basketball for the last 2 years in Brazil. So.
Wow.
You know, that to me is like one of my special stories, you know, is him. Or there's another guy, George Blakeney, he played at UNCP down there in Pembroke, North Carolina, and trained him in the off-season. He earned his first contract to play in Argentina, and he played for Manu Ginobili's older brother down there for the same program down there in Argentina. So it's like, you know, it's like the other stories are great, but then there are those stories that are just like, you know, they fill me up so much, you know, it's with such confidence and happiness, because they were able to become professionals. I mean, these are Division II players. Right. You know, you don't really hear about that a lot. So.
And how do you go about promoting your services, especially your clientele, to get more people to contact you, to get them for you to train them?
To be honest, everything's been word of mouth. I really don't, outside of, you know, a little bit of Facebook and you know, social media. I don't, you know, I don't pass out flyers. I don't go see people. I don't, you know, people hear about me and then I get calls, you know. And and I forgot to mention, one of the other major partners I have is Big Shots Basketball.
Okay.
And you know, I train, you know, their program, their kids, you know. But yeah, I mean, people know about me, you know, through that stuff. And I'm actually the National Skill Development Director for their program.
Oh, okay.
You know, and they're national.
Getting connections everywhere.
I mean, it's, you know, you grow. You know, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited, and it's just getting better. I mean, you know, making the Garner Road, you know, relationship was huge. You know, it was huge, and you know, I'm looking very much forward to a relationship with them. You know, Team Felton, Big Shots. You know, and I just hope it grows from there. But you know, I'm very, very fortunate.
You mentioned Team Felton twice. What is that? What is Team Felton?
Oh well, Raymond.
The Team Felton Combine. Or?
Oh well, Well, actually, Team Felton is exactly what the Garner Road program is.
Okay.
They have an AAU program or a travel program. It's probably a misnomer to call it AAU, but they basically play in tournaments and that kind of things, and they have theirs. They're stationed out more in the Greensboro area.
Okay.
And the Garner Road Basketball Club, of course, is stationed here in Raleigh, in the heart of Raleigh. So, Raymond Felton started a team. His nephew actually is one of the star players on that team, Gilbert Felton, and he's depending on who you talk to, he's the top player in the 2017 class in the country. He's talented as they come. I saw him play about 2 nights ago. I was thoroughly impressed. And I train him also.
Wow. You dropped a lot of big names throughout the interview who you train. So just give me a rundown of, again, who you train, from professional athletes, college players.
Well, Raymond Felton extensively. Kendall Marshall, it was spotty over the summer. Marcus Page, David Noel. Then after those guys, it's a lot of elite high school players in the region. I trained a lot of the kids over there at Chapel Hill High School. Gilbert Felton, who's going to be a big kid. And then a lot of the work that I've done in terms of different exposure events and camps has really been, a great opportunity to really get my hands on a lot of really, special players.
Right.
Jayshawn Augusto, who's out in the Washington area, Washington State, very talented guard. I had a wonderful time training him. Isaiah Briscoe, who's in New Jersey, very talented player. I think he's been offered by Syracuse already. It's just, I don't know, sometimes it's really humbling to think about it all, but it's a lot of different players at different levels.
Now, do you think you would stay as a athletic trainer for college players and high school players, or do you want to become a permanent trainer for the NBA?
Opportunities, however they come, you have to make the decisions when they come. I'd be humbled by that opportunity, and we'll see. We'll see. That stuff has definitely been presented to me as a possibility. So, I definitely will entertain it. But we'll see. I definitely would like that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I also love working at this level. So, but it depends on what works best for me and my family at the time.
That's good. What are some of your upcoming basketball camps that you have in store right now?
Well, tomorrow and actually Monday, Tuesday, we have the Martin Luther King event that'll be held here. I'll be hosting an exposure event here at Garner Road as well. In Greensboro, Team Felton Combine will be hosting a few out there. And then I work with Big Shots with their showcases, Scout Focus, and their events. Well, Point 3 Hoops, I forgot to mention them. They have sponsored me in regards to apparel and gear. These are the shorts I have on.
Okay.
Theirs. They have the best apparel in the world. Okay, and their attire as well. So I'm definitely going to be sponsoring some of their or working with them in regards to throwing some camps. I'm going to throw one here, and then another one in Greensboro, and one down by me in the Fayetteville.
So you train players from North Carolina, South Carolina. Do you go out west, California, Nevada, or you just stay in in the southeast region?
I'm mostly in the southeast region. I've trained players from New York all the way down to Georgia right now, and whenever I do go out to the West Coast, I'm always training, so that's always spotty. But I've been in the Vegas, trained some over the summer. Was out there for a week and some change training there, and went out there again briefly this winter. And, so I'm looking forward to doing more traveling and hopefully doing some international stuff. I'm very passionate about doing some international traveling. I'm a international politics geek, so I want to travel, and train in as many different countries as possible. So I'm very looking very much forward to that possibility coming up.
So let everyone know where they can find your website and mention your social media website as well.
Akin Athletics, very simple. AkinAthletics.com. You can visit me there. You can go to Facebook, Akin Training or Akin Athletics, same thing. Twitter, Akin Athletics, or you can, me personally is G-A-N Abraham. What other social media is there? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, G-A-N Abraham. If you go to the website, you see everything. So, most of my social media is on the website.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time out to talk to me about your training program and what you have in the future going on for you. We're not done just yet.
Okay.
Got to let my viewers know that I got some little game left in me. So we got to do some one-on-one drills really quick. So you guys stay tuned for that.
Gilbert Abraham, Akin Athletics. Whew. Can't even talk, I'm so tired. You want somebody to train you hard, show you all the skills you need to become that basketball player you want to be? Contact him on his website below. Check out his social media websites. Don't forget to follow your girl on Twitter. Give me a break. Whew. See, I should have did this before I started working out, but I had to let y'all know that your girl JQ still got it. But anyway, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at OnCue with JQ and my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, oh, hold up. I give a shout out to my assistant, Jazz. She helped me out today. I don't know what I could have done without her. My girl, Jazz. Jazz. Thank you, boo. You're welcome. Couldn't have done it without you. Any shout outs?
Oh, yeah. Everybody, if you're looking for a dancer or model, go follow me at watchmemove_24 on Instagram.
Yo, this girl can dance her butt off. As always, stay true to yourself. It's JQ, and we out.
Right there.